session, Pranav Malik could not join because of some emergency. But we have Shantanu Shubham over here. He is a software engineer at Intuit with the past experience in GP, Amazon, and he is a seasoned mentor, and he is going to help you with whatever he can today. Starting with the topic of discussion, that is how you can stay irreplaceable as a developer by learning the AI tools. And he is also going to give you demonstrations for that. So stay tuned. Hey Shantanu, I think you should be able to switch on your camera now.
Okay. I hope you're able to see me now.
Hey, hi. Yes, we can.
Yeah,
We can. I think we should start
great.
rolling now.
All right. Okay. So, hi everyone. My name is Shantanu Shubham. It's so good to see so many students into their session right now. So, yeah, let's get started with the session. A little bit quick introduction about myself. So, I'm Shantanu. I work as a software engineer too at Intuit, and I've been in the industry for quite some time now. And it's fun to be into these sessions where I get to talk to a lot of people who are into software engineering, and we all share the passion of software engineering. So, into today's session, we have this very interesting session to take today. So, this is around the ideas of staying irreplaceable, talking about learning things like AI tools, which will be necessary for developers like us, right? So, we need to understand what is this AI tool and how are these AI tools necessary for us developers. So, if you notice, AI started to take a very strong boom once ChatGPT came into picture. So once OpenAI came up with ChatGPT, it broke the internet at that point because we could get answers from a chatbot which seemed very human-like. No matter what you asked them, they had an answer for it because they're working on some language models, right? So that is something that we started to see. Soon after, Google came into the picture and launched Gemini. Even today, top smartphone manufacturing companies like Samsung and Apple, they're also riding this AI wave. Amazon is riding this AI wave. Oracle is riding this AI wave. So everybody's riding this AI wave right now, as if there's something around this AI thing. And because of this onset of AI, a lot of confusion is happening around it in the tech space, making us feel threatened, making us feel like will we lose our jobs and everything. The answer until today, I mean, the answer as of my understanding right now is that AI will not replace our jobs as of now. Okay, my answer to this question is that AI will not replace our jobs as of now because we individuals, we developers can actually learn these AI tools in such a way that instead of replacing us, AI becomes our friend. And with this friendship with AI, we will be able to increase our efficiency into how we do our software engineering job. So, for anybody who is a software engineer or who has spent any time with software engineer, let's try to understand what do software engineers really do at the most fundamental level. We software engineers write a lot of code, right? We write a lot of code, isn't it? We write a lot of code, and apart from writing this a lot of code, we also analyze existing systems. We try to improve existing systems. We try to build new features. We try to deploy our systems. We try to document our knowledge, and etc. etc. So many things that we do right now. And if you notice, today we have one or two AI tools that are fit at every of these places that can actually increase our efficiency as a software engineer. So I started to use these AI tools quite some time ago, and I have seen a very strong jump in my productivity. And that's exactly what that secret mantra is, what I'm trying to share with all of you. And I'm pretty sure if Pranav was here, who is amazing in his own league, if he was here, he would have also done the same. So let's try to talk about these AI tools that can make you irreplaceable because that will increase your efficiency in a very high standard. Okay, so what are these AI tools? Okay, so apart from ChatGPT and Google Gemini, are you aware of any AI tool that can be used by a developer? Anything in your opinion? Gamma, okay, nice. Anything else? Copilot, nice, okay, good. Anything else? Black box, interesting. Okay, napkin. Okay, image creation AI tool. Fair enough. Cloudy. Okay, nice. Pieces, nice. Perplexity, Versal. Okay, nice. Good. I see a lot of answers coming up, very diverse. Siri. Well, in a way, yes, definitely Siri. So we see a lot of answers coming to us, and all of them are actually very well written, and of course, they do get used. But into the world of development, we mostly would be dependent on the AI tools that are very specific to development, And this specific to development AI tools would include one of the primary ones, that is GitHub Copilot. So let me just try to show you one few of the interesting engineering tools. Let me just share my screen. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. I have opened the tab for our program, which we are actually taking right now. So I'm pretty sure if Pranav was here, he would have loved to talk a lot about this, but it's okay. Let me just take on top of it. Okay, so let's try to open ChatGPT. Okay, let's try to open ChatGPT. Okay. Now, as a developer myself, I am actually really interested in writing some piece of Java code. Now, let me just write a situation. So, my situation is something like this, that let's say I'm newly integrating a Spring Boot project, and I have decided to add two databases to my Spring Boot project. So, for people who are slightly unaware about this, Spring Boot is a Java backend technology, and it does support database connectivity. So, usually, in most cases, we developers connect only one database to our backend system. But let's say I'm interested in connecting two databases to my backend system. One database, let's say, is MySQL, and second database is, let's say, MongoDB. Then how do we do that? Of course, you'll have to go through a lot of documentation about Spring Boot in order to understand, or at least get a basic idea of what you can do in order to get this integration to work, right? But with help of AI tools like ChatGPT itself, it can be done in a slightly easier manner. So let's go ahead and see how I would do that. All right. So let me just write a message to ChatGPT that I have a Spring Boot project and I want to add MySQL, let's say MySQL and MySQL and let's say MongoDB as my two data sources. How to do that? How to do that? And let's press return or enter. And here we are with the solution. So it suggests that, okay, Shantanu, you can add your dependencies for MySQL as well as MongoDB. It asks us for the adding the JPA, that is the ORM. So as you can see that it has started to tell us what we can exactly do. So on one side, it is telling us what we can do for MySQL. On the other side, it is telling us what we can do for Mongo, and so on and on. So you can see that it is actually giving us a very detailed description of what are the things that we can do in order to create a configuration of MongoDB as well as MySQL into our Spring Boot application. So isn't that really, really interesting? You can see that when I'm trying to create a configuration, it tells me what things are going to be added to this configuration in terms of MySQL and MongoDB both. So this is the power of ChatGPT. It is a very simple example that I'm trying to give this to you because it's a, let's say, one of the more asked questions. But even if you do encounter something which is very specific to your system or a very specific to a challenge that you are facing, in most cases, ChatGPT or even Google Gemini should be able to come up to you with a response that actually works out for you. A lot of times we need a tool which has a very strong context of the project that we are writing. In these cases, one of my favorite tools to use is GitHub Copilot. So GitHub Copilot actually tries to understand what your project is all about because it is trying to read all of your files or something like that. And it gives you suggestions which are very specific and which follow the coding standards of your own project. You must have known that most companies have their own linting applied, and we all have our own code style, coding conventions, coding best practices. Company to companies, they do vary. And let's say you are working on a specific project which is very specific to your company, and even in that case, if you need some help, GitHub Copilot can come to rescue. So GitHub Copilot will have a lot of access about your code, and it will suggest you things that are in a way, or that are written in a way that is supported by your code. Okay, so that is very, very interesting. Not just that, with the help of GitHub Copilot, you can also try to understand an error which you're getting into your code. Sometimes we all get this nasty error and we're not able to understand what the hell that is all about. But with the help of GitHub Copilot, that would not be very difficult. I wish I could show GitHub Copilot in front of you right now, but because it's a paid feature and I am personally not paying for GitHub Copilot on my personal device, I will not be able to show GitHub Copilot in action to you. But just in case if I did, I would have done that. We will try to get the access to GitHub Copilot in a further session, maybe, so that we can show or we can have an entire session on GitHub Copilot for all the developers out here so that we can understand how GitHub Copilot works and makes our life easier. Now, there's one more interesting tool that I would like to talk to you guys about. Let me just show this to you. It's called CODMU. Uh, it's called Codium. You can see that it's a Codium free AI code completion and chat. So this Codium tool that I'm trying to show in front of you. One second. Is it the same one that I'm trying to open? It's Codium AI. Codium AI. I think this should be the same, but I'm just making sure so that I don't make a mistake. Can you guys can hear me, right? I think yes, you can. Yeah, this is the one. Codium AI. So Codium.ai is the website for this tool, and this tool is actually ChatGPT, but with some extra features. Now, how many of you have done any sort of unit testing or integration testing in your code for your backend code specifically? Unit testing, integration testing, etc. Have you guys done that ever? Shruti says she has done it. Okay, what about others? Not done it. Okay. So I'll tell you something. So when you write some code, especially in a production, in a very office-like situation, when you write some code, especially backend code and also front-end code, we actually write test cases for that code that we have only written. These test cases actually provide a layer of security. Yeah, just will definitely qualify for unit test cases, Praveen. So they definitely provide us with some sort of security and an integration and a secure sense of security that in case if something changes in our business logic, the test cases will fail and it will inform us that it needs to be fixed. Okay, so test cases are very, very good practices when and everybody writes test cases today. So imagine a tool, an AI tool, which can write these nasty test cases for you just by reading your code. That is what Codium can do for you. Codium as well as GitHub Copilot, they are completely capable of optimizing the code that you've already written. Let's say you wrote some code of, let's say, sorting an array, and you wrote this code in, let's say, a higher time complexity due to XYZ reason, and you want or and you think that your code can be written in a more optimized fashion, you can definitely talk to GitHub Copilot or Codium AI as well in order to improve the efficiency of your code. And it works like magic. It works like magic. So these AI tools can actually add a lot of value inside our day-to-day lives. Now let me try to talk to you about one more interesting thing. Have you ever written documents inside your software engineering career? Is anywhere aware that we write a lot of documents in our software engineering career? Software engineering career documents related to your project. Have you ever done that? No. Okay. Let me just tell you what this looks like. For example, let's say you are given a new requirement. Let's say you have to create a new feature. Okay. And in order to create this new feature, you have to think about it like what should be the approach of following it. Let's say you have 2 to 3 approaches in your head to make that feature a reality. You have 2 to 3 which one would be the best one to use. So let's say you want to present this idea, all the 3 ideas that you have in your head, to your team so that your team and senior engineers can together make a solution out of this problem, that which solution would be a better one. So you have to create a document. Similarly, if you did something very interesting that is maybe like the first time somebody has ever done in a team, which can help other people in the future inside your team, again, creating document is the right way to go. When I used to work in Amazon, we had to create a document for every single small thing. So documents are a very integral part of any software engineer's career. So when we write a lot of documents, of course, a lot of documentation is related to what we are doing, but still a lot of documents have a lot of sections which are related to an understanding of the technology that you're trying to talk about. For example, if you're trying to compare Java and JavaScript for a specific type of situation, you might want to talk about Java a little bit. You might also want to talk about JavaScript a little bit. You might also want to show how they both are different from each other. And this information is publicly available on the internet, and you want to put this into your document. So why do all the hard work by yourself when you can just ask ChatGPT or Google Gemini to do it? I use Google Gemini and ChatGPT both in order to ask for documentation related help. For example, let's say if I go to Gemini, which is again a very interesting tool, let me just ask Gemini for something. I will say to Gemini, I am writing a document to compare serverless performance on AWS for Java and JavaScript. Can you tell me about both of them and help me compare them in a tabular fashion? Let's see what we get. And here we are. So we understand the serverless architecture, and here we have a tabular comparison of both the things into our screen right now. Isn't this really stunning? So you can see that it's not just a table. There are a lot of key considerations, and I would like to add these kind of points into my documents, into my documentation that I'm actually creating. So with the help of Gemini, with the help of ChatGPT, with the help of Codium AI and GitHub Copilot, you can actually do a lot, right? So that's the whole idea behind using AI tools. Now, depending on what kind of situation you are in and how intensively you use it, of course, your scale of using AI will differ. Now, even today, as of now, if you think about AI replacing humans to write code, well, AI can tell you what to write, but AI doesn't think by itself. AI cannot think of the logic all by itself. AI also uses a lot of logic that is already present on the internet in order to help you with what could be right? But at a lot of times, we humans create our own logic. And secondly, we can make use of AI in order to still stay relevant. Now, imagine writing all of this by yourself and just writing this on Gemini and getting the answer and paraphrasing it and adding it to your Google document or any document, any place where you're writing your document. It will save a lot of time for you. It's not, I'm not saying that you would not be able to do it without Gemini or any AI tool. You will definitely be able to do it. But the amount of time it saves you, that's the biggest advantage. If let's say you have to travel from, for example, from New Delhi to, let's say, Bangalore, you still have an option of traveling by train, and you still have an option of traveling by flight. Because you want to save time, of course you will take flight, right? And the more time you save, the more time you can allocate to other places and increase your efficiency, because you will be able to achieve tasks in lesser amount of time. And this is what the power of AI brings to you, and all of these AI tools bring to you, which can help you improve your relationship with AI, especially in the field of development. Now, before I move ahead to anything at all, I would like to see, in case if anybody has any type of questions that they would like to ask me. So in case if you have any questions at all, please feel free to put them in the Q&A section. Okay, that's good. I mean, I don't see any questions coming up to me, so I'm assuming a lot of you have understood a lot of the concepts that I was trying to share with you. That's great. Now, before we move ahead, I actually want to share something really important with all of you. So a lot of people ask me for referral tips to land a job. So I recently joined into it, and after I joined, I could see that there was a lot of hiring happening in my company. So I put up a LinkedIn post which was trying to tell people that my company is still hiring. In case if you need a referral, just let me know. Well, I received more than 4,000 entries, 4,000 rows. 4,000 people approached me for giving me a referral. Of course, not everybody's approach was nice, and not everybody's presentation of asking for a referral was nice. Now, when I say that, that doesn't mean, oh my god, they asked me in a rude manner. They just didn't provide me enough context of what they're looking for. Okay, so there's something called as structured learning, And in today's very, very, very competitive job market, it is very, very essential to upskill. I would personally recommend all of you to invest in some sort of paid program to learn smarter and more efficiently. One of these programs is the Full Stack Web Development Job Bootcamp that is offered by us at Coding Ninjas, which is a 9-month program that provides thorough training and placement assistance until you get your first job. We at Coding Ninjas also have a very unique advantage since we are now a part of Naukri.com. So recently they have launched a job bootcamp with PG certification, and as a mentor at Coding Ninjas myself, I can totally vouch for the value of these programs. So we will be sharing out a form with all of you into the chat box. So please fill out this form to get a chance to connect with a program expert from our team, and we'll give you 1 or 2 minutes to complete it before we actually continue. So Anshika, if you're still here, could you please share the form link with all the students?
Yes, that's done. The form is in the chat box, and you guys can fill up the form. As Shantanu mentioned, we do have a full stack web development job bootcamp, a 9 months program with placement assistance till first job. And being a Naukri.com company gives us an edge. In addition to that, this bootcamp has now an a new version to it as well. uh, Being a job bootcamp program, that is one, but another is it is now coming with IITG certification, E and ICT Academy IITG certification as well. So if you want to know about the program, you can fill the form. Our team, uh, someone from our team will be reaching out to you, and we're giving you few seconds to fill that form out. Vinay is asking you, do you have data science bootcamp? We have data analytics bootcamp uh, in the same kind of structure, in the same kind of setup. It's also, but it's a 6 months bootcamp, not a 9 months bootcamp. It also comes with IITG certification. So yeah, if you want to know about that as well, you can still fill the form. So we'll be resuming in few seconds. Whosoever
Mhm.
has filled the form can drop a done here in the chat box. Okay, Vinay is also saying that BScs we don't have programming background.
Mhm.
That is just fine, Vinay. You can still upskill. This program is for anyone who is a graduate. You should have a graduation degree, or you must be in a final year of your graduation, and you are good to go. That is why you are taking a boot camp and not just making your profile on some job portal and applying for jobs. That is why
Yeah,
you're coming for upskilling. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, great. We'll be resuming in few seconds. Whosoever has filled the form can come back to the session and drop it done here. Over to you, Shant.
Yeah, just 1 minute. Somebody's at my door. Can you please excuse me just for 1 minute?
Sure, 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 sure. Okay, so someone is writing, I'm a mechanical engineer in 2022. Irrespective of your, background, it could be machine learning, it could be civil engineering, it could be a non BTech. That is just fine. You should have a graduation degree, and irrespective of your, discipline of studies, this program accept individuals to enroll for it. Yeah, sure. You can now take it up.
All right. So somebody asked me, is this class helpful from zero tech knowledge person? Yes, definitely. We will help you understand full stack web development from the very scratch. So yes, you will find it helpful. Are we getting certificate for this webinar? I think yes, you will. I think Anshika will be able to answer this question in a better manner.
Yeah, so you can keep posting your questions, and we'll be catering to all of them by the end of the session. We'll have
Mhm.
a big discussion where we can answer all of that. I would like to know more about data analytics bootcamp. That would be great. Abhay, data analytics bootcamp is a 6 months live program, and it is also coming with placement assistance till you get your first job. You get to learn first, and then you get to sit for placement. You get a job bootcamp, and then you also get a job bootcamp with E and ICT IITG certification. So if you want to know about that, you can fill the form. Someone from the team will reach out to you, and you can get a tailor-made roadmap. Okay, so more questions on bootcamp. We'll be answering to that by the end of the session. Let's get back to the session now and
Hmm.
uh, learn what we are here for today. So yeah,
Yep.
Prashant. Okay.
Yep. So coming back to a little bit on the AI tools. So we still have, I mean, I mostly did talk about most of the AI tools that require you to write code. Sometimes we need a lot of data. Sometimes we need a lot of data, and we need some tools to generate the data for us. So all of these AI tools that I mentioned, especially ChatGPT and Gemini, they can help you a lot into generating data as well. So for people who are interested into data science, of course you need a lot of data, right? For people who come up with the background of deep learning and machine learning, sometimes you need image related data. So sometimes when you really want data and to actually start your journey with, let's say to create a proof of concept or something as such, it's again a very good option to generate that data for you so that you can get started. Many a times I get stuck with writing regular expressions. Again, the AI tools is my way to go. So, Anshika, mostly I've covered all the relevant AI tools that I myself as a software engineer use in my day-to-day life, and that most of my colleagues also use. And I don't see any more AI tools that are not similar to anything that I've already mentioned about about development specifically. So I think most of the things that I actually wanted to share, they're done. So in case if anybody has any questions, they can definitely drop me a question right now, and I
Yes.
can take it up.
Yeah, now it's time for Q&A. You can bombard the chat box with all your questions, and
Absolutely.
Shantanu will be answering all of them. So you can start with anything, like it, not necessarily about AI, but anything, career transition, how to upskill, how to switch, what projects, what other resume tips, and how to navigate job market, anything you can post here.
Yeah, anything you have, any questions for me, please let me know. Tips for a first year BTech CSE and AIDS student. Well, anything you have written after CSE, that is not very relevant right now. What I'd suggest you, I think you were asking me this question, Abhijit, for maybe probably getting a job by the time you finish your college, which is nice. I would say for a first year BTech student, I'd just mostly tell them to get a grip on any nice programming language of your choice and move ahead and start learning DSA. Tips on resume shortlisting. Please make it one page and write all the relevant things you have into bullet points as much as you can. Try to keep things neat and crisp and don't use a lot of colors. And yeah, maybe highlight your experiences, your internships, your projects, and your college that you come from. That's it. That should be it. I am totally from non-IT educational background. Is it possible for you to get into IT sector? Yes, it is possible. Your start may be difficult a little bit, Edward, but it's not impossible. It's definitely possible. At learning stage, being in second year of BE CSE, is it good to practice to rely on codes generated by AI? We'll just have to debug it. Or we just use it to debug or enhance the code. I think it's going to be the second, Anushi. It's not good to be completely dependent on generated code because, see, it's AI. It's not human. So it can make mistakes. So, yeah. How to upskill as a BCA graduate and fresher also to get a job, and how can we find a job? So whether you're a BCA graduate or BTech, I think all that companies really take care about is the skills. So just gather all the relevant skills like DSA and programming language and all the relevant other things that you want to do, and start applying for jobs, and you should be able to find something. Try to make very good use of LinkedIn. Try to see if you can get into a nice boot camp that helps you with placement support. That all things that you can do, and it will be nice for you. Now I'm working as an MIS executive, but now I want to move on as a developer, although I started practicing learning Angular. That's great. Can you list the AI tools you've explained? Yeah, sure, I'll do that. What are the suggestion languages aside from C, which is in my course? Uh, I'm not sure what course you're talking about, Abhijit. If you're talking about your college curriculum, then I would say I think your college might also have double OP, which might include C++ or Java or maybe both. So yeah, those languages you'll come across. But I would say as a experienced developer myself, you can also try to put in some head into Java and JavaScript. that will really help you in your career, based on what I understand. Yash asks me, "Can you a question?" I mean, I don't know what that means. I wish I did. Uh, I'm a diploma holder, computer science and engineering, so I can start early. Yes, you can. Basically, I'm third year student, and I want to ask what to do, development or DSA or both parallelly, so that which I would say do both of them parallelly. But if you're a third year student, give more priority to DSA right now. How to learn coding quickly? There is no way to learn coding quickly. It will take its own time. There's no way to learn coding quickly, sadly. Can you suggest me if I'm going the right way? Uh, I'm not sure what way you're talking about to him, so you'll have to give me some more context. I'm completed to the BSc IT, then I am fresher, then I'm learning to learn Python is helpful for me in this language. Yeah, it's fine. You can do Python. Fresher and not any experience in IT sector, hand gap. Even then, the only difficulty, Deepshika, you'll have is at the start. Otherwise, it's not impossible. It's definitely possible. Just keep applying. I'm having hard time getting interviews, got laid off, and have 18 months experience in Java. That's okay. To be honest, even I was laid off at one point in my career, but it still did not stop me or did not stop anybody from getting a good job. I can understand getting interviews can be a little bit difficult, but just keep trying. You will find something good. I'm a fourth year CSE student. I have basic knowledge of Python and machine learning. And what should I do next? Currently, I'm planning to do MBA, but sometimes I think about getting industrial experience. So, Akshat, for doing MBA from a good college, you will need industry experience. So whether you really want to do MBA or not, I think you should come to a better conclusion about that once you have some industry experience, because that is when you really know whether you want to do MBA or not, right? So I would say with the knowledge of Python machine learning, that's nice. Park it for now, but do DSA a lot with Python so that you can land a job first and experience IT industry for yourself. May you tell about learning in public in a way that should we post during the days when we are getting okay, one second. May you tell a learning in public in a way that what would what should we post during the days when we are learning stuff, not really building or making projects? I don't even understand what that means. What are your views on blockchain and will it be helpful in my specialization in AIDS? It's an additional skill to have. Please help me for how to learn Python code. There are hundreds of ways to learn Python. YouTube is there in case if you want free resources, and YouTube is there. A lot of text-based articles are there. If you want to go paid, I will always suggest you CN and anything else you find good. So you can take up a cohort, you can take up a course that is of your choice, and you can start learning Python or anything of your choice. What to do after BCS, Masters, MCA, or MBA, which is preferable according to you? If you move into MBA, you're changing streams. So you should be very sure whether you want to change your stream. What would, okay, I think that's a duplicate question. Any more questions, anyone? Any tips on time management? Choose priorities. Sort your priorities. That's all you need. I'm working as an MIS executive, but now, okay, although I started practicing learning Angular, can you assist me for the presentation I'm going through the right way? Yes, you are doing the right way. I'm fine. Yeah, it's okay. You're learning Angular, right? But maybe like also do a lot of DSL that because that will be required. Sir, I want to ask you which language to learn for more money at this time. I mean, don't run behind money with a language. So money will come with concept. So focus on concept and be open to learn any language. That would be the right way to earn more money, Vivek. Where should I start DSA? You can start DSA with us at Coding Ninjas. Best answer. Uh, Exams for data scientist roles. I don't see any specific exams for data scientist roles. I don't think that happens. Any tips of practice for interview? Hold your confidence and make sure that anything that's written on your resume is known to you. And take tips from the interviewer when you don't know the answer and be honest. Skills I can focus on if I want to get an internship in second year. Well, I would not suggest you to get an internship in second year because it won't be good and you won't know enough. So I would say if you want to focus on an internship, try after third year. Is AZ 900 a good one? I don't know what that is. I don't know what is AZ 900. So sorry about that. How many months to learn DSA? Depends on person to person, 3 months to 6 months. Basically, I want to give GATE exam any roadmap for this. Keep studying your subject, and I am not a GATE expert, so I will not be able to help you a lot with that. To begin an Angular developer, what should we do beside Angular? You can do DSA, programming, and backend maybe, but DSA should be your priority, in my opinion. Is free code Camp channel, I am not sure. Yes, I don't study from YouTube myself, so I don't know what channel is the best. I'm sorry, I can't help you with that because everybody has personal preferences of liking and disliking a channel, right? So I'm not here to endorse any YouTube channel. Sorry about that. All right, any more questions? I can take maybe like two or three more questions, or let's see how they come. What is backend stack developer? Then explain. So there's nothing called as backend stack. There's just backend developer. So backend development is all about creating logic of any major system, how it's going to work. In the simplest words, it's the brain of an application, web application. Okay. Even though I have technical skills, I can't clear the interview when it comes to communication related round. What can I do to improve that part? Talk more, communicate more, try to improve that skill, and try to take constructive criticism. I know it's sometimes very challenging to take constructive criticism on communication, but just talk more. I mean, that's the only way to improve it, right? So maybe talk more, talk to these people who you think you can trust and whose criticism you can accept, and just talk to them. Yeah, they'll help you improve it. If you keep getting scared about communication, you will not be able to improve it. Can you tell see about CV pattern? uh CV pattern should be something like this. So you can, I mean, there are so many patterns available. I'll just tell you the order. Make it one page. After you have written all of your basic details like your name, contact details, and etc., try to write education and experience first, and then you can write about your projects and maybe hobbies and other things. Okay, I see. Have more questions. What are your views on subjects like calculus, ED, and as a CSS student? Calculus maybe a little bit, ED zero use. Yeah, that's it. Will you teach DSA? I can teach DSA. If necessary, I will. No problem. For off-campus recruitment at Amazon as a data analyst, when does the notification? I am not sure. I am not an Amazon HR. I can't help you with that. Other than walk-in jobs, I can't able to shortlist on the job opportunities, even though I have real-time project experience and good skills. What is the problem with my job application? Maybe how you're approaching companies. Try to ask for referrals over LinkedIn. That would be very helpful, and continuously improve your LinkedIn network so that anything new that comes up, you are aware of that when if any team in a specific company is hiring. What is the difference between front end and developer and back end developer? Okay, imagine uh, imagine going to an ATM to withdraw some money. Okay, so you as a bank account holder, you only care about how the ATM looks and how to operate the ATM, right? So the one who makes the outer covering of ATM machine is a front end developer. The one who the one who does the transaction inside the ATM is a backend developer. So backend development is writing brains. Front end development is writing, like how to interact with the application. That is the front end development. It also includes making UI and making it nice and interactive. Python programming language are used for AI tools, yes, and other languages can also be used. No, it's not just Python, but mostly it's Python. Then we have one more question from Yash, which is a duplicate question.
Yeah, so now I think I can see, since all you folks are asking a lot of questions around, the job
Mm-hmm.
camp and full stack web development, data analytics. I can see a lot of questions around it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time
Okay.
that we also cater to those
Mm-hmm.
questions. So we
Yes,
have
please.
a very senior program expert over here from Coding Ninja's team only, and just going to take 5 to 10 more minutes of you guys, and you can have your all your questions answered in one go. So you can start dropping your questions here, and I would like to call out Karan Khanna to take over. And with that, we would also like to thank Shantanu Shubham for such an awesome session.
Thank you. Thank you, Anshika. Thank you, everybody, for having me. And I hope I was able to clear your doubts in whatever way I could. Thank you very much
So
for having me.
someone
Okay.
is asking about the AI tool list. If you can
Oh
just
yes, I will just
share
write that.
that,
Yes.
that would be
Thanks for
great.
the reminder. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Someone is also asking the difference between UI and UX. You can answer these few of these questions. They still want to, I think, talk
mhm.
to you, and then
Okay.
Karan can take over.
Okay. Yeah, I mostly mentioned all of them. And UI and UX is how the UI looks. So UI stands for user interface and UX stands for user experience. So like animations and everything will become user experience, and how you design the flow of your application, that would become user experience. How it looks is a UI, right? That would be UI. All right. Thank you very much. I'd like to handle the mic to Karan to take this ahead. And I'll, on the same note, I'll take my exit from the session for today. Thank you very much for having me and have a good evening, everyone.
So first of all, I would like to thank the mentor for such an insightful session. And hi everyone. So my name is Karan. I'm the senior program expert from Coding Ninja's Job Bootcamp team. So I'll just take 5 to 10 more minutes of yours to explain what Job Bootcamp is and how it can benefit you. Plus, we will also reveal few of the new courses which we have launched with ENICT IT Guwahati, and whatever prerequisites which are required for the to become a full stack development, we will be covering up each and everything. So I'll just take 5 to 10 more minutes of yours and we will discuss everything. So meanwhile, I'll just share my screen. Just give me a heads up if you can see my screen or not. I have shared my screen. If you can just give me a heads up in chat, if you guys can see my screen. Sure, I think my screen is visible. All right. So this is the job bootcamp program, starting with Coding Ninjas. So for Coding Ninjas, started its operations in 2016. As you already know that we are a subsidiary of Naukri.com. So the main aim of Coding Ninjas is to fill the bridge between the working professional students and the universities, so that they can work on their skills, they can upskill themselves with the help of the certification courses into full stack development, and eventually it can help you guys to land on a good job or on your dream job which you're looking for. So that is the main agenda behind starting this job bootcamp. As the name suggests, job bootcamp, it's a placement-oriented program in which there is proper placement assistance which will be provided to you at the end of the program. And as I mentioned, there are two courses about which we are going to talk about. One course is a job bootcamp program with Coding Ninjas. The other course which we have is the PG certification program, which is completely approved